Clawdbot has been taking the internet by storm, but people have been wasting $600 setting it up on a Mac Mini. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can save that money and actually set it up for free on an Amazon AWS VPS server. Now, before we start, please understand the security risks with Clawdbot. Under no circumstance do you ever want to set up Clawdbot on your main computer. That is an absolute security nightmare. Now, let's go into the setup guide. Step number 1 is to head to aws.amazon.com, or you can just click on the link in the setup doc that I linked in the description. Once you land on this page, hit Start Free with AWS. And here you can just make an account. I already have an account, so I'm going to skip to once I'm logged in. Once you are logged in to AWS on Amazon, all you need to do is hit the search bar and search for EC2. Once you search for EC2, then click on this button here. Now, once you are on this page, all you have to do is hit Launch Instance. Now, on this page, there are a few settings that we need to tweak. So these steps are really important, so make sure you follow along closely. For the name, I'm just going to write Clawdbot. We are going to use Ubuntu. I think I pronounced that correctly. I'm not sure. The next step is under instance type, hit the drop down, and we are going to use C7i Flex Large. Now, the next step is you need to create a key pair. So all you need to do is hit this button. And you can keep RSA toggled on, keep PEM file type toggled on, and hit Create Key Pair. Now, that is going to create a file in your download folder, and this is essentially the key or password to your instance, so make sure you do not lose that file. Keep it somewhere safe. The last step on this page is to adjust the storage. So here, let's put 25. Now, after you have configured all of these settings, in the bottom right, just hit Launch Instance, and this will take a second to load, so I'm going to cut until when it's finished. Oh, just kidding, that finished loading. Okay, so now you should have this success message, and whenever you have that message, in the top left-hand corner here, just hit Instances, and navigate to Instance ID. So all you need to do is click this button, and in the top right, hit Connect. And you can keep all of these settings that you see here exactly the same, and hit Connect in the bottom right. Now, this is your VPS. These next steps are essential for setting up Clawdbot with this server, so make sure you follow closely. If you mess any of these steps up, you will have to recreate your instance, so just take it slow and let's go step by step. First, we need to update the Ubuntu in our instance. To make this change, you can head over to the document or you can just type it yourself, but I'm going to type in or copy and paste sudo apt update. Now, once that is done loading, then we need to add in the second command for Ubuntu, which is sudo apt upgrade. Here, it's going to ask, do you want to continue? Say yes. Okay, I'm going to speed up this video or cut it to when the load is finished, so I'll join you in a second. Now that you have successfully updated and upgraded Ubuntu in your instance, the next step is we need to install Node.js. To do that, you can just head to the setup doc and copy and paste this command. Okay, now that you have installed Node.js, we have 2 more steps before we can connect to Clawdbot. We need to refresh our terminal. So all you need to do is copy and paste this and enter that in. And the next step is install Node.js LTS. To do that, you can just copy and paste this command. Great. So now that all those steps are complete, we are now ready to connect to Clawdbot. To connect to Clawdbot, we can either go straight to their website, which is just openclaw.ai. We can scroll down and we can copy and paste this curl command, or you can just copy and paste that curl command from the setup doc. So either or works, up to you. Now, if we head back to the instance, paste that in and hit enter. Now that that's installing, I'm going to cut until when this is finished, so join you guys in a second. Clawdbot has finished installing, so now let's go through the setup together. These steps are really important, so make sure you go slow. Okay, first step. I understand this is powerful and inherently risky. Continue. So you need to hit your left arrow key and to go over to yes and hit enter. For onboarding mode, we are going to do quick start. So just hit enter. Now we need to set up the connection between Clawdbot and AI model. I'm going to do OpenAI. So let's go through that. So you can go ahead and hit enter on OpenAI. And we are specifically going to use the OpenAI API key. Okay, so to get to the OpenAI API key, if you're on the $20 a month plan, then you'll have access to this. So all you need to do is go to platform.openai.com. Now, when you are on this screen, head over to dashboard in the top right. And when you're on the dashboard screen and the left-hand corner or the left panel, you can hit API keys. And in the top right, hit create new secret key. And I'm going to name this Clawdbot demo and hit create secret key. Now, I'm going to delete this key, obviously, after this demo ends, but make sure you never, ever, ever share your API key. I'm going to hit copy. Then I'm going to head back to my instance in EC2 and copy and paste this. Now we have the option of what model to specifically connect to. I'm going to do 5.2. Okay, so after we set up that connection to OpenAI, the next step is what channel do we want to use Clawdbot in? So we can use Telegram, WhatsApp, Discord, Google Chat. I'm going to use Telegram. This one is super simple to set up. So hit enter on Telegram. Okay, so now you need to have Telegram on your computer, and let's go through these steps together. Once you have Telegram open, then go ahead and open Bot Father, and let's go through these steps together. You can hit create a new bot, and I'm going to name this Clawdbot, and the username Timothy's Clawdbot, and hit create bot. Okay, now you have the token that you can use for your EC2 instance. So hit copy, and I'm going to hit enter. Okay, so now it's asking for a skills setup. We can go ahead and skip this for now. It's going to ask enable for hooks. We can skip that for now. Oh, you can hit plus, then enter. Okay, now it's installing the gateway service. Here it asks, how do you want to hatch your bot? You can hatch it in TUI. Now, after you hit hatch in TUI, you should see that command, wake up my friend. So let's go through these questions together. What should I be called? I'm going to call you Goose. Ooh, I accidentally hit enter. What kind of creature am I? I'm going to say petty gremlin. Vibe, I'm going to say brutally concise. Signature emoji, no emoji. Once you are done answering these questions, then we're going to go through a little bit more of the Telegram setup so that you can actually use Claude in Telegram. After you have finished answering these onboarding questions, so my last onboarding question was, what should I call you and your time zone? After you're done answering those questions, then we can go ahead and set it up with Telegram. So I typed in setup in Telegram. I will provide the credentials. Once you have set up your Clawdbot, let's actually connect it to Telegram so that we can talk to Clawdbot in Telegram. To do that, all you need to do is head on over to your Telegram app, and in your contacts section, search for the name that you gave your Clawdbot. So for mine, it was Timothy's Clawdbot. It's going to say no messages here yet, and hit start. Okay, perfect. So now all we need to do is set up Telegram so that it connects to Clawdbot. Okay, so we have our Telegram user ID and we have our pairing code. So all you need to do is give Clawdbot your Telegram user ID and your pairing code. So let's do that now. Now that you have pasted in your user ID and your pairing code, I'm going to hit enter. Awesome. So that took about 30 seconds, but now if you see, it's paired. Okay, so what's really cool about this is you no longer have to talk to Clawdbot in your EC2 instance on Amazon. All you need to do is talk to it from this Telegram chat. So here's an example. And now we have successfully set up Clawdbot on a VPS server, and you do not need to spend $600 on a Mac Mini. I hope that setup guide was helpful because when I first tried to do this, it was so confusing. I'm really excited to see what y'all build with Clawdbot, and stay tuned for more videos on really interesting use cases of this crazy technology. Thank you guys.